because this is an integral part of your proficiency exams. Yeah. So now you can please. Can you pass on the mic to me? Yeah. Someone wanted to say something. You take the conversation forward. And then the most common thing that people talk, whether, oh my god, it's so hot. The city I come from is hot, your city is also hot. Both of us are sweating so badly. Climatic change, globalization, global warming. Then you say, oh my god, imagine the topics that we have to speak. And there are people who get very bored if I talk about global warming, ozone layer depletion. It's a completely off topic. You're like, my God, let me get away from this lady. She's talking all nonsense. So, but that's one way to. We call them ice-breaking topics, icebreakers, weather, and God forbid politics. You get into that. If you and me belong to BJP, fine. I am BJP, your Congress, war. But at least, again another icebreaking happened over here. Yeah, hey, we just came with our driver. So he was talking about how good or bad the administration is. I'll not get into politics. I'm not a political person. I seriously don't care. I just cast my vote. If I don't have anyone in mind, I go do that. What do you call that? Nata. And that's what I did the last time. So this guy was talking about the current administration, making small talk. They want to be heard, basically. So we don't want to immediately talk about, never talk about personal lives, please. The minute that's not an icebreaker at all. Are you married? No. Do you have children? No, no. Correct, no, no. So please, because in the flow we say that. Are you married? Whether he's saying yes or no, you don't even want to listen. Second question is this: are they married? Third, first question. So please, no personal questions in the first instance. Do you own a house? How much did it cost you? What is your EMI? Absolute no. These are not icebreakers. So, yeah. Just introduction. What they basically do. Whether cinema. Jailer movie released yesterday. Did you see that? Oh my god, it's fantastic. It's bullshit. Anything. You can say anything that you want your opinion. But be politically correct as much as you can. Let's not use any profanity, any profane words, swear words. When you talk to rank newcomers, until otherwise they are complete against. That's how ice breaking is done. Second thing, making eye contact. It's very important. You can't be a creep and keep staring into their eyes all the time. You feel them out. So when we say eye contact, it is eyes, nose, talk, and then that's the pattern that you're supposed to follow when you're making eye contact. Don't stare at people. Keep blinking as many times as you can. Body language, usage of hands, nervousness. You touch your nose when you speak often, you're nervous. Touch your ears, you're again nervous. Beard, you're estimating, you're kind of trying to figure out what this guy is all about, what he's worth. So that's body language, different topic into workshop, personality grooming and all that. Oh my god. Just for body language, one full day, 5 hours. We give students a lot of activities and verbal communication, non-verbal communication, tone, tone, such an important thing. I can say one word, one sentence, and my entire the tone will change the entire context of what I'm saying. Yeah. So why are you late? Why are you late? You see, it's sarcasm, honest, the rightful way of saying a lot of ways of putting it across. Yeah. So speaking icebreakers, we just had an idea on. So when we're talking about these exams, let's not deviate. So the four parameters: listening, reading, writing, speaking. Um, in your IELTS, you have how is IELTS conducted? How does IELTS conduct speaking sessions? Any idea? Sorry, offline session. In the sense, listening, reading, and writing. LRW is conducted on one day. Speaking happens on a completely different day. Yeah, on a one-to-one basis. There are no systems, nothing.
Pity these guys, because of the paucity of funding, they could not take Cambridge's that's why most of them, I am extremely sorry for that because these kids were under pressure in investing a lot of money. They have taken only Cambridge's upskill. If at all they have taken back in the very first, second years, they would be knowing how the speaking test is administered. In fact, it was long back, some 7 years ago, before Corona and before 17. We had so many of these Cambridge's Becks from our institutes. Vantage, even Vantage also they have taken. Higher, but anyway, some mechanical engineering students they purposefully have taken because they have a plan in going abroad, so they have already gone. So
we have beginners, we have intermediate, we have vantage as far as Beck is concerned, but Beck, British Council is not conducting it anymore.
Yep.
They have stopped it for what reason? They don't have numbers. So they just stopped it. There were a couple of my students who wanted to take Beck because Beck does not serve your study abroad dreams. It's a certificate that holds good for life. You can use it as part of your general certification when you're planning to go for an interview or anyway, just to say that you are BEC certified. If you are one day certified, use your added advantage. Nothing. BEC is business English communication basically. So you just test your same LRWS. So it's on the lines of IELTS, but it is not an accepted exam for study abroad. BEC is a certification that you can show to your prospective employer and say, well, I am BEC certified. So, my English proficiency levels are good enough for you to consider me to work in your company. That's what BEC serves. Okay, so yeah, coming back to how IELTS is conducted. It's 8 to 11 minutes of an interview. Any idea on the questions? Can we just have one question? You have three parts in IELTS speaking interview. And any idea on the kind of questioning that happens? Three sections, yes. Not necessarily. No, they already know you, so they would address you by your name. And the question can be random, completely abstract, completely normal. What's your favorite color? Could be a question. Um, what do you do during your free time? Can be another question. Simple questions like this. That's your ice-breaking questions. These are nothing but ice-breaking questions that you need to speak probably his favorite color. And I say, red is my favorite. Simple could be white. You can say anything, right? Something is dark red, orange in color. I mean, you can say anything as to why. What's your favorite destination, dream destination? Simply say, oh, you read it and simply I've never been there. It's always been on my bucket list. Normal, don't get nervous at all. Because always do things in life. You whether you get it or you don't get it. Simple. Nobody is going to prosecute you. Not more time. Nervous is what is very good students scores down. So which these are all the questions that you need to keep in mind. Okay, and take it in 2 minutes. Then your final, the discussion stage. Here is where a lot of interaction will happen. Here, it is a generalized thing. Why do you think mentors are important? How do you think their impact kind of shapes us for the future? Or in what way do you think it would make a person or break a person? These are all the kind of questions that have come up for which you need to have keep an answer ready. 9 to 12 minutes, your discussion will be done. As far as sleeping is concerned. I'm sorry, how much time do you have? Because I've still not started studying. One more hour? We'll quickly wrap up. Yeah. I'll just talk about IELTS and then quickly tell you how TOEFL, PD, and Duolingo is also structured. Then we'll get into study abroad because primarily that's the reason we are here. Yeah. So that's as far as speaking is concerned. Any doubts over here? Because this is an important part of your IELTS, which many students find it tough because it's one-to-one. Yeah. And then you have your listening, which I told you how you are supposed to prepare. You need to listen at the same time. answer your question. You miss out listening, if you not, it will not be played again. Yeah. So listen clearly, comprehend. If you did not understand, leave it, listen to the next part. That question is gone, answer your next question. So it's for 30 minutes. You have four sections, 10 questions each, 40 marks. And that's what is converted into grade. How? What is your highest grade in IELTS? It is graded for 9. It is graded for a total of 9. 9 out of 9 is the highest. And ideally, Indians fall under a minimum of 4. We don't go lesser than 4. I mean, however bad you do, that's the standard. Chinese, they even score 1.52 in Cs. So we don't know how good or bad their skills are. But Indians normally start with 4. I mean, there is no starting point in all. However bad you do, they will give you 4 at least. Because we can't be worse than that. And for us to get into a good college, the minimum requirement for most colleges are 6.5 overall, with no band less than, not 4, oh my god, no, 6. No band should be less than 6 with a minimum of 6.5. Some UK universities are okay with 5, one band in 5.5. So, but don't aim for 6, 6.5 and all, you aim for 8 so that we at least get 7 or 7.5. This is what we are looking at. So we have listening, which goes on for about 30 minutes, 28 to 30 minutes. Then we have reading, which is for how long? 1 hour. You have 3 sections. Each section, you need to adjust your time to 20 minutes, 20, 20, 20, 1 hour. You're done. Yeah. And reading, see, IELTS is basically divided into academic IELTS and general IELTS. Academic IELTS is what you will all take for study abroad. What is general IELTS? General IELTS, not visiting visa. If I am a tourist, I don't need to take for PR purposes. Suppose I want to work in Canada and I get an offer, or I'm working in Infosys, I'm doing an in-company transfer, then I probably need to take IELTS general. It's easier compared to IELTS academic. But let's not get there. It's not for you. So when you're booking your exam, make sure it's academic that you're booking. If you take general, they'll ask you to retake the exam. So IELTS rating is that way, same 40 points, 40 questions. Very tricky. You need to do skim reading, scan reading. Your professors might teach you how to scan, how to skim read, and all that. Okay. Writing, how many tasks? Writing, how many tasks? Only two. One is, the first one is report writing. You're an engineering student, you know how to do report writing. Basically that. A graph would be given, or a data is given to you, a table is given to you. You need to interpret that and just write a report. No opinions here at all. Suppose the data says this is how COVID impacted this country, or over the years this is how food grains grew in this country. You should not say these people ate more. That is why the food grain consumption came down. No, it's not that. No opinion at all. Whatever is given in the table is what you will write. From the table, we can interpret that. That is how you will start. So, in your writing skills, in your comprehension skills, this is how what we will train you on. How to start the paragraph. What are the right words that you will use? There's something called discourse markers. What are discourse markers? Discourse markers, although, even though, on the one hand, on the other hand, firstly, secondly, thirdly. When I want to say something, I'll say first of all, I would like to introduce myself. And the next paragraph sentence, what would I say? Furthermore. Will I say second of all? No, it is wrong. A lot of people do that. I say first of all, there is no second of all. I can say furthermore, or I will say secondly, thirdly, fourthly, and lastly. If I have 10, I will not keep saying thirdly, fourthly, fifthly, eighthly. No. You start with thirdly, fourthly, finally. You can't have those many points. doesn't look silly actually. So, these are all the pointers in which you do a proper writing. That's for 20 minutes. It carries about 3 points. And then you have the main essay. Here, in my opinion, is fine. It's a generalized topic. You'll probably say this particular, there are some universities that are gender specific for certain courses. Do you think it's the right thing? So the question itself states your opinion, asks for your opinion. So here you would say, you can even start your, there are many ways doing a proper writing. The first thing is an introduction. How good your introduction is. The first 4 lines, an examiner can assess what kind of a candidate you are. How do you introduce a topic? There are various ways. Start with a prologue, start with a short story, start with a shock statement. A lot of ways. Only 4 lines, not more than that. And then, in my opinion, start with your topic. And then use these right, the discourse markers, although, even though. So it adds beauty to the sentences. So every point five you score by these kind of pointers that you actually make. And then conclusion. No new point should come during conclusion. Whatever you already said is what you will say, reiterate. Just about 4 lines, conclude, you're done. Here, you score about 6 points. So 6 plus 3, 9. So that is how you're done. Yeah. What we will do is, I'll quickly tell you about TOEFL, PTE, and the Duolingo also, so that we can wind up English. Anybody? 120. No homework is done at all. Yeah? Study abroad courses, study abroad session we are here. 120 points. 30 for each band. Listening 30, reading 30, writing and um, speaking. So 30 points here. More or less the pattern is the same. Only difference, where is the difference here in TOEFL compared to IELTS? One band is different. TOEFL is completely system based. IELTS you have an option of doing paper and pen and computer based. TOEFL speaking happens not on a one-to-one basis, it happens with the system. And only 1 minute to speak, 60, 40 seconds to speak. You will think it is very easy, try doing it. Take out a topic, start the timer, start speaking. Introduction should come, your body should come, and your conclusion also should be there. All the last 10 seconds you should conclude. Here is where self-preparation is important. Pick out a topic, set the timer, speak. A lot of students would be like, man, the clock is running and my ideas are like, I have nothing in my head. The minute the clock stopped is when ideas started pouring in. Yeah, and your time is already over. Right? You have 6 such topics there. The first one would be a basic one as to, okay, tell me about your favorite food, cuisine, or some such topics. It later on goes to two people are speaking. One is having a problem, other is giving a solution. Do you think that's the right solution? So they give you about 30 seconds to prepare, 1 minute to speak. So try. So TOEFL, many of them say speaking is tough because you speak to a machine, not to a human. In IELTS exam, you want to think, man, can I have some water? Open, drink. You have 20 seconds of time to kill to basically think. There is no time. No time. Your timer is ticking. That's one. But your reading is easier in TOEFL. And so listening. Listening, you listen to everything, take down notes, and then answer questions. So it's a different pattern. You see. So if you ask me which exam is easy amongst the also speaking also it's a mixture of all four parameters in one. That's how BT is different. And your accent is evaluated by the system. They have 1 lakh accents that are fed into the system, it seems. So it does recognize Indian tone as well. So we don't have an accent at all. So we call our language as neutralized language. Because we don't have an American accent, we don't have a British accent. We border on the British accent actually. Yeah. But primarily we are neutralized. From the way I speak, can you tell me which part of the country I belong to? Yes, no? Malayalam, Kannada. Anybody else? Bengali, Hindi, Gujarati, Telugu, yeah. So you should not be able to make out which part the person is coming from their English speaking skills. So if you do that, if you manage that, then it means your language is neutralized. So that's what your language should ideally be for a PTE exam to accept your Malayalis have a very, very strong accent. So does Telugu also. Every sentence I came, I did do this, that, do. So that, that's so completely pronounced in our language. The more you listen to, you know, uh, the English movies with the right British and American accent, the less we call it MTI. What's that? MTI? MTI. Come on. Mother tongue influence. So MTI has to reduce. The lesser your MTI, the more your neutralization, you're heading towards neutralization. So let's work on that again. How will that come? Practice. See, nobody is born, as I told you, nobody is born and Martin. None of us are gifted with gift of the gap we see. We don't. And we are not Shashi Tharoor saying either. We don't need all of that. It's okay. We can be in moderation and still succeed. How do you do that? Simple. One step at a time. How does a child learn the language? Simple. Just tell me. 1 year old Russian child will start speaking Russian. Our Telugu child will speak Telugu. How is that possible? I tell you how important listening is. The more you listen, the more you'll get it. It's as simple as that. So, it's not, I'm not telling you to go figure out rocket science. I'm not asking you to figure out Chinese language. No, you don't need all that. Basic language, take your time. Most of you are in the third year. Still have time. Give yourself 1 year to prepare. Learn 5 new words every day so that your vocabulary base is done. Because for GRE, it's all about vocabulary trust. And the kind of vocab my students will ask me, ma'am, who actually speaks these kind of words? What is this? Listens, that, this, that, oh, and how do you? I mean, if I speak like this to my friends, they'll all laugh at me. I'm like, and so does Shashi Tharoor. People only mock at him, they don't laugh at him. You see the difference. You see. Learn 5 new words every day. And I'm sure by the end of 1 year, when you actually sit for the exam, you are built, you are loaded with those many words that you're done, you're set for life. Trust me. When we all learned vocabulary, we just learned it for 1 year, way back, decades back, and now that's our foundation. Okay. Any questions on the English proficiency tests that are required for study abroad processes? English proficiency is done. So we have 4 tests as of now. Can somebody quickly sum up? Someone from the last pitch, pass on the mic. Quickly sum up what I just said about English proficiency. Then we'll do GRE, GMAT, and then we straight go to study abroad. Quickly, no time. Don't be shy.
Guys, go grab the opportunity to say something about what you understood.
Ice breaking, we can talk about weather. I tell you, Vizag is no less than Chennai. It's definitely hot. And we are sweating as well. I expected something else, but no, I get the same feel. In October, it's forest there also. December also. Yeah.
Ma'am, now I had about the three exams. Four exams.
We didn't discuss Duolingo, but I just gave you a synopsis of that. Yeah.
And let's see TOEFL and GMAT and CRE.
No, I did not talk about that yet. Yeah, this IELTS,
IELTS, TOEFL, and PTE, ma'am.
yeah. And we have one more Duolingo.
Yes, ma'am. This is totally about the LSRW. And in PTE, everything is evaluated by the system itself. And for that, we have to utilize our accent. And in the TOEFL, it is about 120 points and 30 points for each and every section. And in the ILSC, listen, is separately done, speaking is separately done, and we have to speak with a person, and other is done by in other time, ma'am.
Okay.
And for that, we have to learn 5 words a day, and we have to start speaking more, and we have to watch the movies without subtitles.
Correct.
And we have to listen, comprehend, and we have to mimic them, ma'am.
Bang on. Yeah, absolutely right. Anything else you want to say? Yeah. Okay. Anybody else have any other doubts as far as English proficiency tests for study abroad is concerned? Any doubts? Yeah, what is the total score for PTE? 90 points. Yeah, and Duolingo is for 160 points. And a good PTE score is, they are okay even if you get a 65 with each band not less than 59. And see, if you ask me which exam is easy, which is tough, no, I would not be able to say that. None of us would be able to. So you can do a mock test in all the exams, see which suits you fine. Primarily, go for IELTS. Why I would suggest IELTS is predominantly this is one exam that is accepted by all countries. And one important thing, how long is your score valid? The minute you get your scorecard? No. English proficiency test scorecards? Yes. These scorecards are valid only for 2 years. So that is why I say let's give the exam next year so that even if you don't go for the immediate intake, your scorecard is still valid. GRE GMAT scorecard is valid for that is valid for 5 years. So if you're done with the preparation, give it now because it's anyway valid for 5 years. Okay, the doubts on English proficiency tests. We are good. Yeah. So let's get to GRE, GMAT. There's another exam called SAT. Have you heard of that? SAT is for. So that's why we are not going to discuss that much here. Because if I've done my plus two, intermediate second year, and if I want to go study abroad for my undergrad course, I will still write IELTS or TOEFL or PGE or Duolingo and write my SAT. Even if as I told you, SAT is one exam. Likewise, you know how GRE and GMAT is. These are all purely exams that those universities will give more predominance to. The rest of the countries are okay even if you don't have this. They primarily focus on your CGPs, your cumulative grade point average. Predominantly, we're talking about use. How many of you are thinking about use? Only one. Okay. Slowly. You must yes or no, yes or no. Let me not think, let me not write. Why? Again, if I lift my hand, she will call me. Why unnecessarily I have to talk? Let me not lift my hand. I'll be on the okay, okay, okay. So, yeah. But nevertheless, since do you all know the proficiency level that is required of you as far as quantitative ability is concerned? What proficiency level? Which what math? Your engineering maths? Sorry? Basic maths. So what do you mean by basic math? Exactly. High school maths. We are not even talking about calculus here. We're only talking about your 10th standard maths. That's it. But what is important here? Like 10th standard maths must be easy, ideally speaking, but it is not so easy. Why? Yeah. Sorry? Somebody said time management. That is what is very tough over here. For every question, you probably have only 40 seconds to handle. In that 40 seconds is when you need to get your answer right. How do you do that? That is what if we all give you an entire day to crack your GRE, all of you will get 340. That's not the case. In that limited time, how do you get your answer right? That's when you need to get the right guidance. Prepare yourself for these exams. And minimum, as I told you, if you have time 1 year, and at Manacos we offer these courses called fast track courses. You can do it in 3 months also, but we say start early so that you have ample time, ample resources, ample opportunities to give that many mock tests and mold yourself. When you give the exam, you ace the song. And one important, how many times can you give these exams? How many times can you give? Is there any cap on the attempts made? Any cap? Twice in a year? GRE? What about English proficiency exams? Trust me, they are unlimited. Unlimited. You have an IELTS exam that's there for all 25 days in a month. We're talking about the computer based exam. Pen and paper happens twice or thrice in a month. That's as far as IELTS is concerned. TOEFL every week or probably once in every fortnight. They have slots that open up, you can book. PT is there all the time. You just have to go to a prometric center, sit there with the system. You'll probably be the only person in the room. Give your exam and come out. GR is available all the time. All 365 days, you'll have probably 300 days. We have the exam conducted. It's a system-based exam. And how long do you think will take for you to get a GRE score? How long after the exam? Any idea? 10 to 15 days for GRE score? 10 years. Your exam is done. You click your enter button, your score is there on the screen. That's it. Your GRE, your GMAT is all that simple. Your analytical writing alone will take time. We call it AA, analytical writing. That's for 6 points. That will take about a week or so. But that's really not important. Most of you all, out of 6, you get about 4. That's fine. So this score, at the click of a button, from the way the students' faces are when they come out, you will know how they have raised it. You smile and come, you know it's a good score. You drag your feet and come, you know what the way is. So that's fine. As I told you, since you can make n number of attempts, but then every time you have to pay the 15,000. 14 to 15,000 you pay, and then you give the exam. Let's say I scored 310 today. Let's say my next exam I scored 315. Okay, this time I scored 310. The next exam I scored 305. Which score do you think is valid? 305? No. I can disregard my 305. I can go back to my 310. I can use my best score. It's absolutely fine. That's why each scorecard is valid for 5 years. I can choose which scorecard to use. Same thing goes for IELTS, same thing goes for TOEFL. You can write n number of times. You can choose which scorecard to keep and retain. So this is one advantage with ETS and all the prometric exams, and Cambridge exams. So not to worry, but every time I told you have to pay the fee. So why are you wasting your money? Get yourself properly trained and ensure that you sit the exam with right knowledge. Yes, definitely any exam is practicing. Why are we stressing ourselves and we are getting ulcers and all that? Studying so many times, sitting there in front of the system for 3 years, you get a headache. One of the students said, I lost focus because I got a headache. Yeah. Bahubali became such a huge success. Is that the topic you're expecting? You will not get that. Probably how cinema was made would be there. Back then in the 1930s, what technology they used, that might come. contemporary entertaining topics. That will not be there. Definitely boring, definitely a headache. You have to clear. Prepare, give the exam once, ace it. Don't look back. Then you have a lot more other things. Study of if you just keep sitting with the exams, how will you move forward? Okay. For verbal, you have vocabulary, sentence structuring this thing, and then reading comprehension. So reading comprehension is also very tricky. So what was the author thinking when he wrote this line? So you have to sit in the author's head to understand what he was thinking. For UK universities. And for countries like Latvia, Lithuania, these are all countries that you can IELTS exemption. Yeah. But Germany, no, you need IELTS. And Germany, public universities, there is no fee. It is free of cost. So is Italy. So is some Scandinavian countries. Uh, Even in France. Yeah, as I told you, Italy and France. There are a lot of public universities that don't charge you anything. In fact, they pay you a stipend. But you need to get an excellent number. Yeah. With uh, you have an score of 7.5 with a 9 and above CGPA, you have good chances of getting into a public university in Germany and other countries. Again, you need to write your, do your to pay. History. Do you know? keep up the same thing, keep up the same track and momentum, and ensure that you don't have. And the final year, it's a project, right? So most of y'all will get around of 10. So that would boost up your CGPA. Just make sure that if it is 7.5 to 8, by the time you're getting a very good at it. Okay. Um, Now only we are coming for introduction. Study abroad, how it can shape your future and why you can come to. Can just give me one quick, see slides just for our, don't read them and all. I can pass on the PPT soft copy to you. But why stand before the immigration officer? Why overseas? Why not India? Simple. I am looking out for global exposure. Don't put your country down. Don't say India, I don't have this. India, I don't have they don't give me these many opportunities. No, we want here. Patriotism runs in our blood. So let's say I'm looking out to broaden my horizons, to get a global countries, and to become a well-rounded person. Sounds so impressive, huh? On 4 lines. Because you don't remember, not remember later on. But it sounds nice. So these are the reasons why we go. If you're looking at a better, also a reason, but your better package means you're also see cost not less than 3,000. So it is equalized. Look at the cost of living and but yes, it is more organized over there. There are developed countries. India is only getting into more and more more highly populated country now. That is what we should say. This ensures that GDP when the population is so bad, some has to be done. And address GDP. How when will it ever become a developed country? I learned India is a developing country. My children are learning India is a developing country. Tomorrow my grandchildren will learn India is a developing country. When on earth will it ever be developed? So we will probably never see the light of that sentence in our lifetime. We don't know. But this is something that you will never say to the visa officer. So what you would say is this cross understanding. It's all the main reasons why we go and yeah. So education, in what way we guide you? There are students, when they come to us, they come with a fixed country in their mind. They say, I would want to go to Canada. Some say, because Canada has these many opportunities. Some say, my uncle is there. Now forget about an uncle. He is not going to help you, trust me. Uncle has his own life. He has a Monday to Friday job, Saturday, Sunday, he want to go somewhere. If he's going to assist you, he'll assist you only on those 2 days. The rest of the days, he'll not even look at your face. Trust me. So no uncle, no neighbor, nobody is going to help you. So choose your destination based on your career preferences and your choice of universities and your future prospects. Those should be the only reasons why you should choose a particular country. And of course, the climate conditions. If you are completely averse to cold and you very cold countries, no. Canada, down south is okay. Canada, up north is pretty tough to survive. For Indians who are used to this kind of heat and sweat and all that, they will be praying for heat. Because it's so cold, the temperature gets to minus and all. It's and when it's you open the window, you see all white. It's very depressing. Trust me, very depressing. You will snow. The very idea of snow brings in a lot of songs to our heads and all that. That lasts only for 10 minutes when you actually go there. Like, please take me to my room. I want fire. is what you would wish for. So choose your destination on various factors, not just one or two. And certainly not for an uncle who stays there. No. Okay. And so when I say personalized guidance, so here is where we come into play. There are a lot of students who come to us saying, "Ma'am, this is my area of interest. So you tell me which country is suitable for me." Especially mechanical students come to us and ask for guidance. Because gone are the days when we would say Germany is the hub for mechanical engineering. Was the case earlier, but now all countries have, grown their own hub and their expertise in mechanical engineering and car designing and all that. Germany still remains the number one destination, but not anymore. Right? You can still go to any other country and do the same course with equally good opportunities and options. Okay, so what do you think is the prevailing course now that any department can actually take up? Sorry, thought of AI, artificial intelligence. Sorry, data science, data analytics, big data. This is the in thing now. Robotics. And there are a lot of students who take cross courses. They would have done in mechanical engineering, they would want to take up IT. So trust me, we can do that for the students. It need not necessarily be that you've taken one stream and you'll end up doing your masters in that stream only. No, it's not necessary. Your SOP has to be strong. What is SOP? Okay. What do you say in statement of purpose? What do you basically say in an SOP? Yes, in an SOP is it's more like a covering letter that you would draft when you're planning to go for an interview. So if this statement of purpose is a very, very, very important document, stating what you are, what you basically had been doing all this while in your life, what made you think of an abroad education, why this university, why this course, what you plan to do later on with your life. All of this needs to come in an SOP. There are thousands of samples in the net. For God's sake, don't copy pasting in your SOP. Heard of a word called plagiarism? What's that? Plagiarism is nothing but copying the content straight, verbatim from any source. They can find out. All universities have plagiarized tools. We also at Management we have a tool which can detect plagiarism. But up to 20% is okay. Because we understand that we don't really think completely on our own. So up to 20% is allowed. Anything beyond that, it's a straight reject. So make sure that you get your ideas from your sources, whatever your sources are, assimilate those thoughts, try to write it. We also have professional writers at Management who can do this work for you, but you first make an attempt. If you are not able to, really get it to our satisfaction, I'll refer you to our agents who can prepare a nice SOP and send it across to you. Okay. LORs, letter of recommendation written by the institution. So basically, the institutions, when you request them, they can provide you an LOR. We need how many LORs? Primarily three LORs basically. If you had been working for a year, one from your employer, two from your institute. If you are a fresher, three LORs. So we take care of the end-to-end process. When I say end-to-end process, when the student comes to us not having an idea or a clue as to what study abroad is all about, right from talking about the courses to training them on the courses and then starting the admission process, shortlisting universities, guidance, and support with respect to SOPs, LORs, transcript. What is a transcript from the university? It is nothing but a consolidated mark sheet, just that you get that many originals. When I say that many originals, you can apply for 10 transcripts and keep it with you. It's an original mark sheet it looks like a consolidated mark sheet. But you will written transcript on top of it. Nowadays, you can apply online. Thanks to COVID, online options have come up for most universities. Apply during after your final year is over. You can go to the university and collect it for a fee. I think universities charge 500, some up to 300 also for one transcript. While you're at it, collect at least 10. Because you already applied, might as well keep that many copies with you. These are all the documents we'll be needing from your end for us to, as a first step, shortlist universities. That is very important. Shortlisting from our end will take not less than 1 week. Because we get into your priority, we see your CGPA, we check your IELTS and GRE scores if you have already given the score. Or there's something called an assumed score. We presume that if this is the score you are going to, it's called an indicative score. I assume that you're going to get a 6.5, no band less than 6, and a GRE of probably 310 and above. On that basis, we will shortlist universities and give it to you. And then we will start the application process. And when I say apply, we will apply to the universities, wait for them. We call it TAT, T-A-T, turnaround time. Turnaround time for any university would be around 3 weeks, 2 weeks to 3 weeks for them to revert. They will either say your admission is confirmed or it is rejected. Some don't reply at all. If you don't hear from them, it's not. Once you get the admit from then on, so personalized approach, testimonials. So what are all the eligibilities? So we just discussed about this. So ensure for all of you all who had been a little laid back, enjoying college life after the COVID and all that, now is the time to get serious. If your CGPA is lying around the 5 point someone, heard of this book, 5 point someone? How many of you read books? Saw the movie Three Idiots? 3 Idiots is adapted from the movie, from the book, 5 point someone, written by, there is an Indian author, Chetan Bhagat. Chetan Bhagat wrote the book 5 point someone, that was the first book that he wrote, which was a runaway success. Three Idiots was completely, they said loosely based, it was completely based on the 5 point someone. What is 5 point someone? If you had been getting a GPA of 5 point something, you will be known as a 5 point someone. Okay? It is not a good score. You're bordering on thin lines, thin waters. You don't know what to do with yourself basically. That's you're just a 5 point someone. That's what it means. So don't fall in that bracket. Try to bring it to, I'm talking about 7. That's a moderately decent score for universities to give you an admit. Okay, if you tell me, okay, ma'am, till now I didn't get 7, so I've been bordering on 5 point something. So, what are my chances? Okay. See, any student who knocks the door of Bannerquest, we are not going to say no. We all have a university for you. We all have a country for you. Don't worry, nothing works out. Dubai is there. We have Manipal University, we have a direct tie. I'll put you on there. Dubai, don't take it very lightly. It's a good place to be in. We do have good university there. Okay, no IELTS, any CGPA is fine, and your cost would come to around 120 lakhs. You can work in Dubai for as long as you want. There is no PR thing. PR never happens in Dubai, and there are no taxes in the country. Otherwise, UK 45% straight, US 25% straight. Dubai no taxes. So if nothing works out, we can still do something for you. Don't worry at all. We are here to tell you that we are there to hold your hand. So now itself, don't claim, oh, Dubai, no. We can, don't be dejected at all for anything. No matter what, one thing, no history of careers as well, and make sure that you study well to better your GPA. As I told you, the last semester you're sure to score 10, which means your CGPA will straight shoot up there. Make sure it's at least 6.5. If you give me 7 and 8, that will be very happy. Okay, and then English proficiency we discussed. So yeah, we at Manipus provide training to all these courses. A wide range of opportunities. Yeah, apart from PG programs, we also do PhD programs. So So, you go there, complete your masters. Once you go land in that alien country, don't snap ties with us. Stay in touch with us. And once you complete your masters in countries like US, we are tied up with consultants there, work management consultants. We can put you on to them so that your H1B visa that takes another workshop. So I will not get into that. So your H1B visas, your green card processing, I-140, all of that is taken care of by us at that point. So even after you go abroad, stay in touch with us. Just takes one hello message. Hi, ma'am, happy Diwali. We will also say happy Diwali, and then that's how we build around. So she is gone tomorrow. And then one more student from Lendi. I'll give this girl's number to that student. So that's how you can create a room in the Lendi alumni there in US, Boston, USA. And for this, yeah, there are communities like that. Indian communities, like what Hangama they create. God, the kind of students, they have so many messages from university representatives. What these girls doing? With Balaya. This is something that we don't have a control of. They were like, we send pictures also. What is this brown thing, white thing that I see over there? They don't know that coconuts are used to as a form of worship. They don't know that, right? So we know. And they're like, okay, you do that only for gods. No, what are they? These are demigods. So that is why they all break and so Lendi community supporting students. Create all that. So you make your institution proud by having a strong alumni network and all that. So, yeah, PhD. After that, we help you with your PhD program as well. Specialized program in sciences, management, engineering, and anything at all. I mean, there was a student who wanted to pursue filmmaking. She did her plus two here. We sent her for an undergrad filmmaking in New York School of that's called in NYI, New York Institute of Technology. There's a separate department for filmmaking. We sent her there. She had to create a video, on it's a 3-minute short film. So she did all of that using the drone. Yeah, she used the drone to create a small sequence, and it was a wonderfully made film. So she completed a filmmaking course in 4 years over there, and she's assisting some Hollywood directors over there. So we are not talking just about the regular courses. We have a lot of vocational courses. Anything that you're interested in can be the Viscom students and arts. We recently got into a tie-up with Berkeley School of Music as well. So you want to get into that? We can help you with that as well. For learning, consultant, uh, consultation and assessment. So where you would want to go to, how you fit, what kind of courses we can that are available and what education, very, very important. Documents and visa support. So when I say visa support over here, we take care of financial requirements as well. So you are planning for a bank loan, we are tied up with nationalized banks, private banks, and NBFCs. NBFCs are non-banking, financial corporations. So we have Avance, Oxilo, Incred, Bajaj Finance. So these are all some companies, even IDFC. They all come under NBFCs, and they offer exclusive loans for study abroad. So for US and for Canada and UK, we can go up to 50 lakhs unsecured. Unsecured loans. We need someone as your father, your mother, your brother, somebody to stand as a guardian or as collateral, not collateral, so we can go for unsecured loans. We can help you with that as well. So end-to-end process. So once that is done, then your visas. Take care of the complete visa process, preparation and transition, and yes, ongoing support and alumni network. So I was just talking about how strong your alumni support. You You can go there, you will create your own alumni, meet them, stay in touch with everyone. And these are some of the reviews. So the journey starts with manifest. We will help you shape your future together. Yeah. We'll pass on the brochures. I checked with management. They said it's okay if I can just circulate the brochures amongst you all.
Yes, ma'am.
And any doubts, question, I'll pass on my visiting card as well. You can talk to me directly. You can route it through your management also. Anything is fine. Okay. How many of you are in the final year? You told me. Yes. You all have an immediate requirement, so you can reach out to me. Only one final year student. Okay. Yeah, we had a couple of students sitting over here. Yeah. So we still have time for you when we are talking about an immediate. And what are the two primary intakes the colleges focus on? They are called spring and fall. Spring is in the Jan intake. Jan and to Feb. It's called spring intake, and then the fall intake is the August and September. Predominantly, August and September are the most common and the most desired. Jan intake is also good enough. Only reason why students prefer the August intake is straight from college and go there. Students who want a 6 month break to figure out, and relax and properly just take a small break after their college life and go for a Jan intake. Alright, so predominantly these are the two intakes. Some universities have a rolling intake also, but I would prefer that you go either of these two intakes, not the rolling intake. The rolling intake universities are not very reputed, so don't fall for that. Okay, so I'll pass on the brochures. Have a look at it, and any queries, kindly get back to us directly. You can talk to the management also. Alright, we are going to post our brochures in the notice board as well. So. Any doubts? I have two branches, one in Chennai, one in Hyderabad. Yes, we do train students for GRE exams and GMAT for all the study related courses. I mean, for the English proficiency exams also we have training, and for students who want to better their language speaking skills. If you want spoken English also, we can start with that. Because IELTS straight takes you on to the topics and how to ace your writing skills, reading skills, and all that. But if you don't have the base, the foundation, that itself be shaky. It gets a little tough. So we can start with a basic course in spoken English for 40 hours, and then take you all to IELTS, TOEFL, or any other English proficiency exam. Those also offer 40 hours. At the moment, we are not, Manifest has not set up a base here to do offline sessions. It's all online now. Yeah. And the GRE, GMAT also 40 hours plus 10 hours of mock tests. So it's all online. 20 hours of verbal, 20 hours of quants. If you ask me if that is sufficient, it is sufficient. Because you all already know. Only thing that you need to learn is you need to understand the tricks. As I told you, it's just 40 seconds for every question. How quick to comprehend that question in that 40 seconds, the formula that you need, and these would basically sharpen your existing skills. You're all straight from college, so maths is still fresh in your heads. Should not be a problem. So we train students in all the study abroad courses. That's why we call this an end-to-end process. We start with counseling the students as to what is needed. Ask them if they require, if they haven't done these exams, then yes, take the training. Once your marks are there, meanwhile itself we can start shortlisting universities. Then application process, visas, pre-departure instructions. Right from accommodations we do. Like to go to the US, Canada, we have an accommodation team who will help you with your housing over there. Everything, and okay. Any other questions? Anything at all? All clear? Shall I pick up someone and ask questions? No. Time for lunch. What is madam saying? You're all hungry. Not leaving us. I would really appreciate few more questions. Be good. Yeah. And one more thing, see, when we talk about the visa process, the financial requirements followed by visa process, it differs from country to country. Not all countries have the same process. Only in US you have a face-to-face test. The rest of the countries it's called a drop-box visa. You have to go to a VFS center, with your biometrics, fingerprinting and all that, followed by your document submission, and then your visa decision will take about 10 days to about 2 weeks. That's it. US immediate acceptance or rejection is just set across the country. So for US visa interview also we prepare. Within the mock interviews and all that. We know the kind of questions that are asked, the possible answers that they would want to hear. The important question would be, when are you going to come in, what are your plans after your education? So you should say, I'll come back.